how to think about things. But really, like, you go onto the ChatGPT website, you're typing to GPT, it's answering you, it's hitting, when you send a message, it's hitting all the OpenAI servers, and it's going through massive computation, and then comes back with an incredible answer. But this whole process is going through all of their servers. And so even the answer, when you log back into ChatGPT later and you see your conversations, that's coming off of OpenAI's servers. They own all of that, except what you've copied and pasted. And anyone who heavily uses AI, I mean, copy paste fatigue is real.
Yeah, and also it's attached to your identity. So each of those platforms, you're associating your email and password, or your personal identity with all of the information. So not only are you sharing it, it's like shadow associated with big marketing platforms and whatever without your permission. Like you don't, well, you do opt in the EULA, but you don't know that that's happening very much. Most people just click through. And so that association is a key piece that we would like to break.
Completely.
Would you say that sort of, like you said, association or issue that led you guys to going all in on Morphus AI?
Yeah, it's a huge piece. I mean, it's a two-pronged thing. We personally want the experience of using AI to be better, or three, I guess. And then also the fact that my stuff was spread across all different platforms, even outside of the privacy part, just the utility of like, oh, did I ask that in ChatGPT, or was that on Grok, or was that on Gemini? Like, where did I ask that 3 months ago? And having to go search through whatever long history and then copy paste if I want to reuse it. It's like, it's an awful user experience, and we're just going to solve that whole thing. And then the privacy part is our life mission. So like, especially Duke has been working for a long time in that field. I've been working in decentralized systems with Holochain and other companies in order to create a better world where the paradigm is different. Instead of everything being given without awareness, like you're saying, people don't even know that this is happening. We want to shift it so that is all by permission and with awareness.
And is as easy to use or easier. Actually, that's why I think, I really had to work with Norbu for this, is that his attention to detail in terms of user experience, like, it is like the littlest things of like, oh, I had to push an extra button, it took, it's not beautiful. Like he is just, is exactly what we need to actually make something that, because, honestly, privacy is not a selling point. It's something that is vital to me, and I think soon it will be, as things get kind of crazy with generative AI. But beautiful, easy to use, like gives you that kind of like window, or like your own workspace into what's going to be most of your work in your world is how you interact with AI.
Yeah, you hear it all the time. People are calling data the new oil, right? And people don't realize a lot of these companies, tech companies, Google, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be, they're really data companies on the back end with a front-facing social app or LLM or whatever it might be. And so it's just a really interesting conversation. And I would love to hear about what you guys are building now and how you fix this, or how you're working to fix this, and what it is exactly you guys do.
Yeah, like so on the surface level, it's something that is useful, beautiful now, push to talk, voice first, AI with a kind of local workspace, that you are not locked into any particular model. So it's, every model, one elegant interface. Mm-hmm. And then as we go on, the backend infrastructure that I'm building for that is really lending itself to be able to route your information wherever you choose. Like you have voice that's streaming, and then it starts to, it does text to speech, or sorry, speech to text, and then like that gets sent to all the various, to whichever model you choose. And then like we can start to have that be a jumping off point for things like agentic AI, where you can start to orchestrate multiple agents acting on your behalf in a kind of ongoing way. And like it's just like the design patterns in San Francisco. There's a bunch of hackathons right now on like, hey, make your agent, make a new agent system, or use our X. Like it's like we're really just figuring out how to fit the software pieces together. Kind of like DeFi is so developed in that way, like money Legos, but like with agentic AI, like we're just scratching the surface.
Totally. And there's like a roadmap piece, right? The first offering of Morphus is an AI workspace that is doing what we're saying. It gives you access to all models. Every question and every answer that you get is stored in one place that's searchable and taggable, so you aren't scattered across and trying to find which cloud you've got this stuff stored in. It's local first. So we have all of that in our first consumer product. And then we have a lot of things we want to do. There's some we can talk about and some that we can't. We have some partnerships in conversations now. But there's the world of wearables and hardware. Yep. There's the world of integrations. Like I was driving in my car the other day and I realized I absolutely want Morphus available with hands-free in my car, so I can use AI and ask questions when I'm on a long drive without it interrupting my flow or like distracting me from driving.
So a question that I had was kind of, what makes you guys different than anyone else trying to, provide this kind of decentralized access to AI? And you kind of just answered it, right? It's not just this kind of technology that you're putting out there. It's like kind of going beyond and looking into consumer products and really practical ways and how to use this. What's the overall vision here? Like, where do you guys see this? Where are you guys trying to take this exactly?
I mean, there's a meta conversation because of our core foundation in privacy and identity and flipping the script so that things are not being given and sold without your awareness. That's really Duke's foundational
Own your
work,
stuff.
and owning your stuff. And that the whole saying, right? If you're using it and it's free, then you are the product. And we don't want that. That's fine if you choose to do that. If you want to sell information, you should be able to choose to do that, and you should benefit from it instead of it being a shadow business that's happening in the background while you're using a free product. And so I think that's one of the main differentiators. And then also just the experience we have and the passion we have for usability combined with those two things, it sets us up to create the security and guardrails that people don't even know that they need, combined with a really interesting, useful, powerful, elegant tool that people want to use.
Okay, and so let's say it's 2026. I'm a consumer. I'm using Morphus. I open the app up on my desktop, mobile. What platform am I opening up on?
Yeah, right now we're launching on mobile first. We definitely will have a desktop version as well. All of that is in play. And the experience you'll have is voice first. So like, instead of it being text first with the option to turn on the voice, we have it really, really simple where you're not toggling on a thing and then waiting for it to spool up and then talking, and then maybe you forget that it's on, and it's like this awkward
It is a bit
dynamic.
clunky talking to ChatGPT.
Yeah, totally. So if you ever have used a Motorola radio before in the past, where you like while you're holding the button, it's listening, and when you let go, it stops. We've got that integrated with the kind of if you've used Telegram's voice memo or WhatsApp, where you can like hold it and then you slide it to lock.
Yeah.
We have push to talk and slide to lock as the default for Morphus. So you have this really easy to use dynamic and interface.
Got it. And so I just want to finish my thought here, Dom. So I'm using this app, I'm talking to it, and then it's sitting on top of all my LLM subscriptions like Grok and GPT, whatever, if I use Anthropic. And it's then filtering up conversations from all three of them. Like, just walk me through, like, how is it accessing those services? Like, are they allowing you to access those services? And then what is the output? Like, what do I see on my screen? Or is it talking back to me with that output?
Yeah, and this is configurable, and this is based on like what you're doing in the moment. So we have different flows outlined in different mediums. So like, let's then switch it up and talk about the desktop, because Norbu and I are really focused on getting the mobile app and getting it to be a place where you can have, because like you're saying, like what differentiates us, it's like when you find something that you feel like it should definitely be this way, and it's just so obvious, and then you look around and no one else is doing it, that's the one to go for. Right, and that's what we see with Morphus.
Are you saying in the terms of like talking to the AI rather than texting or typing?
Yeah, and also like that. How come I can't search across every interaction that I've had? How come I can't do a contextual, like a vector meaning search across all of the interactions I've had with the latest models in whatever context I happen to be in? Like, I think that was with Grok, and no, then I pulled it over and I wanted to get GPT's opinion, and then I copied it, pasted. Oh, this is the 5th version.
I literally did this last night. Yeah,
dude, the pain is real, and it's kind of like in software we use get, and you make commits, and then you can go back to any point in time and fork it and try something different. Like I want to have the exact same kind of thing for how we use AI, and it's permanently ours. We can just bring an existing thing over to GPT-6 when it comes out without having to like do a big copy paste marathon.
Yeah, you'll be able to switch midstream, like while you're having a conversation. If you decide you want to continue that conversation with a different model, you'll be able to do that. And the threaded way that we track the conversation keeps all of that organized and marked. You know which model you're talking about. If you want to go back and resubmit to one or even multiple models, you'll be able to do that.
So would you consider yourself sort of an AI aggregator workspace with local memory?
Yeah, in simple terms, yes. That is what it is. I don't love the term aggregator. But yeah,
there is actually one other piece that's in between the aggregator. There's a backend kind of proxy layer that will be sort of like your command center for how you want to kick it off and be able to have, let's say, even multiple models working together
in one conversation. So like, and even define parameters. You could have a pro opinion from Grok and an anti opinion from Gemini, and have that conversation, and then even add a third model that's doing deep research and generating a report out of everything you see.
Yeah, different orchestration frameworks. There's so much interesting research happening right now. Like Stanford just came out with Storm Genie, I think a few months ago, which is what Norbert was describing. And it's just like there's all these like new ways of interacting that increases the effectiveness, and just, it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and my focus will be making that a usable, not overwhelming experience. Even though you have all that option, I want it on the surface to be just super accessible to any person that doesn't know or care about all that complexity, but then also give the utility to people who want to do it. We've got like a special place in our hearts for people like ourselves that, and like y'all, who you use multiple models every day. It's like part of your workflow. And so I want both. I want that capability, but then I also want the simple, easy, accessible consumer facing part that is not confusing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a workspace and a command center. Like you at that point, it's not just like aggregating models together. It's like what model I use is secondary to what my intention is.
Noted.
And so I'll be able to draft it. Let's say, so I use it to draft tweets. I think it's like a really good use case. Sometimes my English or grammar can be a little clumsy, and usually these models are very good. So I started in Grok last night. I didn't like the output. I went to ChatGPT, same thing. I said, hey, give me a tweet similar to like this style. Gave me a pretty good output. Then I had to copy it back. So is this like a platform where I just go to this Morphus, I put in my not even prompt, like, do I talk to it? Do I like paste the prompt in, then talk to it? Or do I just say what I want from the tweet, and it goes and does that?
Yeah, well, let's say you bring up your tweet agent that
Okay.
you've refined what the system prompt is for that, where, I want you to act like this when I want you to like tune it for this
Okay.
purpose. And then, we have it, maybe you've chosen a custom voice for that agent, and you start out on the mobile and like, hey, we have this new thing and I'm really doing this tweet. And it's like, okay, how about this? How about this? We'll do some research on that. It finds a bunch of research, too much to look at on your mobile. You bring it up on your desktop, you see it. And then let's say then it like pushes it through Claude Artifacts, and you have like a nice like kind of chart and overview of it. Okay, I like this aspect. Make sure, okay, find something witty, and then link this research in. And
And
it's
you're
like,
talking to it the whole time, like with
Yeah.
voice,
Mhm.
and it's pulling it up on the desktop as well.
That's
in
the
real
idea.
time?
I mean, it's going to be a few before we can get there in terms of the
Okay.
technology. Like we want to make sure that we have every piece in place like really well with like high quality engineering. But yeah, that's what we're going for.
Yeah, interactivity across platforms and syncing across platforms is one of our key milestones. It's a big part of what we want to do. And the other piece is that all of this said, it is voice first. You will be able to do it through talking, and we aren't abandoning text input. You absolutely can paste something in if you want. Like if you're in a place where you can't really talk, you can still use it. There is a text interface. It's just not primary.
It seems pretty obvious, at least when you ask me, that we're like at some point bound to head in a direction where the AI is conversational rather than text, right? I just feel like that's a natural progression of AI. Why has no one else really gotten ahead of this?
I think two reasons. It's just like, why was MySpace the way that it was? It's because that's the first thing that was made, and then they just kept going, doubling down into what it was, and it has beauty in what it was. It was a free place. But then the world changed as people realized that the power and capability could be much more refined and more usable. And then things shift. We just have landed in the right place at the right time with the right skills to take advantage of this gap.
And Duke, you use the word agents specifically rather than language models or something. Is there a reason you're calling these conversations agents rather than something else?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And the term agent is kind of like being defined and redefined and misused, and really it's an interesting time. It's like if for tech people, people who do agile, it's like it could mean anything. But yeah, like why agent instead of model? Well, the model itself is kind of, I think of it as, and this is like, there's going to be people who disagree, like this is being redefined, but I think of the model itself as the like kind of set of neural networks that's deployed in a particular data center that you're communicating with. And the agent is kind of like if you ever seen that Shogoth meme, right, with the big monster that of all the like trained AI, and then it just has a little mask, which is like the reinforcement learning, like a little smiley face that you interact with. The agent is kind of like that smiley face in a way that you've put into place, where you're like, I want you to do this, act like this. I'm going to ask you like this, and I want professional response, or here I want lightweight, marketing oriented, or here it's like a very and also as people, we're really geared to communicate with people. Like, so having an AI, even if it's the same model underneath, call itself something different, maybe have a different icon, maybe have a different voice. It's just kind of reduces cognitive load.
Yeah, and there's another piece too. There's like the bigger meta conversation about agent, right? Agents have agency. And so we both dream of the time, we talk about it all the time as we've been building Morphus. There's this consumer offering in the first version of this, and then there's the AI assistant that's beyond just communication and information. There's the agent that you trust to have your credentials and to take action on your behalf. So this is the very beginning into agents and agentic. And then as that develops, it would be really rad if I could tell Morphus to go make an order for me or go set up an account for me. And that needs to be in a secure, like a secure environment that I feel confident in is not misusing my data, my financial information, or whatever. And so we're building the foundation, that like secure local first foundation ahead of ourselves, so that when the time is right and when we're ready, we'll build more agentic
So
power.
you're building in credentials to Morphus. Like, maybe I'll say this way: we talk about a project called Orgo who does computer use agents, and Orgo worked up until it had to log into something on YouTube to watch a video, and then YouTube was like, "Oh, you're probably an AI. Like, pass this human test," and it basically was a kind of a stop there. But it looked like at the model level, Anthropic had Claude had kind of had some protections in there to not have it sign up for YouTube, is what I gathered. That is a really important piece, because this is like, you can use products, you can prompt the AI to do stuff. It has your login details or can create logins for you without you having to actively log in for it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, this is an edge that we're pushing, and all of AI world is pushing this forward. And there's a bunch of barriers to making that happen, but we are already planning for it and building our roadmap to include these kinds of functionalities. It means a lot to us to have more than just a conversation, but to have like useful agency in the agents that we create and build, and having them inside of a framework that we trust, and an environment that's secure and local is like a big key piece, I think.
Well, this is where Web3 shines, right? This is like our way of showing up in a pseudonymous yet like verifiable way, and then being known and starting to like, okay, this wallet address I'll associate with my identity now, so everyone knows. And I mean, it's been a big part of my background. I mean, I was part of co-drafting the first DID spec back in the day, decentralized identifiers. And it really is the future. And it's one of the reasons we're choosing to launch a token instead of just like going and holding our hand out to VCs in the city.
Got it. So, I guess one question that I had was in regards to product. So you guys are talking about more so kind of consumer use cases. Is that kind of the best place for this, or is that the best kind of use for this? What's the overall? Where can this be integrated, I guess, is my question, outside of just the consumer?
Yeah, we have a pretty clear branch of our roadmap that's going to be a B2B offering. Everything we're building can be used as a service, and so Morphus can be implemented by businesses as the voice agent for a company, and that whole world is leveraging still our security and local first architecture. So we will be offering that as a service for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all the stuff we want to make kind of white labelable in the long run, because we're gonna yeah, I mean, how many products could benefit from having a AI that you can talk to in it? Probably most of them.
Right. And when are we thinking? Well, do you guys have any users right now? Is this kind of in beta testing? Like, can you give us any info on that side of things?
Yeah, it's currently in alpha right now. We're pushing hard to release the beta and get that up in the App Store, so we can start getting you all and any other people that are interested to test and help us out involved. That should be coming. I think we'll have a beta version this week.
Gotcha. So you have a beta version coming this week. I know you mentioned you had some partnerships in process, and you're kind of in talks, but not to ask about who you'll be partnering with, but more so kind of why would you, like, what partners would you be looking for? What what kind of businesses would you want to partner up with, generally speaking?
I mean, my first gut response to that is people who businesses and people who share the same values. It's really important that as we build this business and as we scale, that we aren't losing the core values that we have. I'm not interested in money or partnerships with people that don't respect and understand privacy the way we do. And yeah, so I think that's my first response to that.
And one type of partnership is like, for instance, a particular group that's looking at making wearables for us, where it really is like a ambient push to talk. And then another kind of partnerships that we're developing is like, for instance, I won't say the name, but so I have a friend who, his company is like, he's worked for years in kind of corporate not exactly mediation, but helping guide communication in difficult settings where often there's miscommunication. And so he's developed scripts, like hundreds of scripts. And essentially he wants something he can drop those into and make it so that it can guide a process without having to have an expensive human. He's trained people that do that function as real humans, but it's ideal for something like AI. And so it's kind of like just we have these folks who have these needs, and it just is dropping in our laps like, oh wow, you really need this. Yes, let me know as soon as you're ready. That's what we're getting.
Got it. Sounds good. No, I appreciate you guys, and I love this conversation so far. I know Dom had a question before the next one I had.
Yeah, on the topic of partnerships, I go to your following, and I see you're following a few people like the Frontier Tower, Cool Spot in SF,
That live due diligence.
Yeah, live due diligence.
Yeah,
Is there any
love it.
relationship between any of these, three entities here, either Identity, Frontier Tower, or Kuros Codex?
Yeah, well, I was part of the beginning of Frontier Tower, where I was helping out hold down the music floor for a bit. I've been sort of hunkering down and working, so I haven't been so involved. Identikey is actually the protocol suite that I founded for cryptographic identity and security. And I was going about it like a startup for a bit, but it's really shaping up to be more of a public good. Like identity really needs to be universal, and also people haven't cared about privacy as much, and like identity is not the funnest thing if you're a developer, and you just kind of like try to get the whole login thing over with. But where you store your usership is kind of where you have ownership or authority over your data, and ownership and authority over data is more and more important, especially in an area like AI. And so then hence it's like, oh well, actually this is, if we're going to get a product out that helps people immediately and has a need for security and privacy, then it's going to be Morphist.
Yeah, I mean, and that partnership is in place. You'll be able to log in with Identikey from the get-go as soon as Morphist launches, which is it'll sit there right next to sign up with Google. You'll be able to log in with Identikey.
Cool, very cool. Actually, one last thing at the very bottom here, I see Y Combinator. Are you guys seeking external funding outside of the SOAR platform? And that's a good segue after this into like when launch, why SOAR, etc. But any relationship with Y Combinator? Are you guys seeking any sort of funding outside of SOAR?
No relationship with Y Combinator. We are currently focusing on the token launch with SOAR exclusively. We're not closed to other options, and we would consider funding from other sources. But our main priority is to get the token launched, get the product out, and stay small and lean for the near term, and just move fast. That's what we're doing.
And I think that's a really good bridge to kind of the token launch and everything. But before we go to that, I just had one last question. There's a name that popped up, Replicate. Any connection to Replicate?
Huge fan.
Love it. Okay, because I know he's very deep in the AI space, and I'm not as deep as you guys or him, but in researching different AI technologies and projects, his name is always coming up. So
we're big Opus fans from the past. So
yes.
Claude Opus, dear Opus.
But yeah, so I guess let's kind of just bridge into SOAR launch. Why SOAR? And I don't know when you guys are launching. I know that's a question popping up in the chat a lot.
Yeah, the when, is not specific and exact. As far as the token launch, that's going to be decided by SOAR experts and under the cloak of secrecy until the time is right. But it's real soon. And then why SOAR is a funny story, actually. Can I tell it? Do you think it's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
of course.
We actually started with Believe, to be honest. Like a guy named Lucas caught my pitch
at Frontier Tower.
At Frontier Tower.
Yeah,
At a pitch.
we're very familiar with Believe.
Yeah, I know. I heard you guys earlier. Yeah, that was funny.
I think that was the first pitch we made publicly for Morphist.
And just real quick, it's pretty just like kind of par for the course, and the like galactic alignment that has brought us here is like I went in there, I made the deck and the pitch like the day of the competition. I didn't enter it in time, and at the competition there was room for one more presenter. Somebody didn't come, and there were 3 of us that wanted to present, and they were like, "Hey, okay, you guys Rochambeau for who's going to present." And so I just saw the 2 young other founders, and I was like, well, I'll just take control of this. And I was like, okay, you guys go first, best 2 out of 3. And then I saw the pattern, and so then I obviously instantly won the Rochambeau after that with whoever won, because I knew where they were in the rock paper scissors, and I kind of am good at that game. And I gave the pitch, and a guy from Believe approached me afterwards, and he left the company eventually, and we met Nicholas at SOAR, and it was a chain of events that led us to the right
Yeah, there were a lot of good aspects about all of them, and I'm always attracted to Web3. My last couple companies have been in Web3, and yeah, and it just the vibes were not completely on. Like we had good contacts, but then there was something about the different organizations that it didn't quite feel right. But then with SOAR, everyone we've talked to has been just so on and so like incentive aligned, and how do we make this successful, and helping us like define a narrative and things that
They're active. They're super available. They answered every question, even when I asked 3 times. They were willing to talk with us through every little detail in the agreement and help us feel confident and comfortable that we're working on a mutual success model. And that was the deal maker for me.
So I guess my question is, why not just launch a token by yourself? Like, why not launch on something like, I don't know, Pump Fund for all, just for the sake of example, but why not just go and do something yourself? Why specifically, I know that the vibes, we love the SOAR team. They're very, very well informed and very good team, but why launch a token with them? What specifically, drew you guys?
Well, I mean, Duke's done it. We've done it, and we know the pitfalls and the ins and outs of a solo token launch, of like all different things.
Yeah, I mean, you really need a lot of support to make a token happen. I mean, honestly, it's all through community. But then, how do you develop and feed that community? How do you make sure that the communication is happening in a good way? And then there's so many pieces. Like I've run like it really is like you have to hold 10 or 20 things in your head at once and be responsible for all of them when you're launching a token, and make sure that the tweet goes out and is spelled correctly while you're making sure that things are not crashing, while you're making sure that the servers remain up. It's like, it's the support that we were really hoping for. My background really doesn't include a lot of marketing and communication. I'm really good with
GICM, GMCG.
rather
What's
well.
up, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed the pre-show. That is, those are our friends at Morphist AI launching on SOAR. Our interview from yesterday. Hope you guys are doing well, man. Markets are looking good, but you know what else is looking good? Look at that merch, boy.
Look at that MCG merch right here. We got, so the camera kind of does it backwards, just so you know. I didn't actually get this merch written backwards, but we got Meteorite Collective, Viva, Moby. Look at that, the boy Kled, Avi Patel, get in our DMs. We'll get you some merch. We have Dupe, Orgo, SOAR, and ICM Run, our friends at ICM Run. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for making our trip to METADAO possible. Thank you for supporting the stream and helping us push ICM and ownership tokens out to the world. As you know, MCG is the hottest ICM/ownership token show on X, and we're just getting started for this year. So your boy with the merch. Boom.
Let's go. We're
thinking
GM.
I can set up a merch store. If you guys want some MCG merch, it helps us out, and just let me know, and maybe I'll set up a merch store.
Yeah, dude. No, love the shirt. Pepe LFG, let's go. Top Fumbler GM, Pepe GM, let's go. Dude, I love the shirt. Do we have like different colors, bro? Is that the?
We do.
Are this?
Yeah, we have a black version, and actually the shirt is super like high quality. Like, it's thick. It's kind of got that retro like washed vibe. It's a little oversized, which is kind of cool for you streetwear guys. And also I got another piece of merch.
Let's go.
We have the MCG hat. Now the hat is a little lower on the quality scale. We might up the quality of the hat, but you know what? Just a cool hat. So yeah, we're merched up for METADAO. So yeah, let's know, guys. Like, we'll definitely send you some product if you want. Hopefully you guys get some good gains in the markets off our calls, and you can drop $50-$60 on a shirt. In the US, that might not be too crazy. In some parts of the world, that might be crazy, but man, it costs a lot to get this merch even set up. So yeah, I love you guys.
Nadu, love it. Yes, sir. Dude, I love the gear. Unfortunately, guys, I won't make it to METADAO, so I'm actually gonna get my hands on a shirt some way, somehow myself. And I'll be rocking that, bro. I'll be rocking that.
He'll be rocking it for the old face stocks soon.
Cold Town would love to buy a shirt. Pepe, I would love to ref it and grab one. Let's freaking go, boys. Let's freaking go. Dude, love the merch. Can't wait for METADAO. I mean, dude, that's gonna be huge stream. Just good vibes, good people, good projects, good way to just good all around, good way to network and all that good stuff. So can't wait to see the METADAO streams. But look, guys, let's talk charts. Yeah, let's kind of dig in here and get started. So we have Ranger Finance coming on today. Big launch happening here on METADAO. So looking out for that. Excited for that interview. I think that starts in about 10 minutes. So in the meantime, we'll kind of run through like what the vibes are here with the charts. I told you guys yesterday, we're very likely we consolidate in this green area here on the chart. Not really much to pay attention to on Bitcoin. Still deciding on a direction. Yesterday, when we zoomed in, I told you guys we pumped right into resistance here. So I would love to see us kind of break above this. If we do, then next level to expect is 100K. But not really. Need to see this level get broken through. But for now, if we look on lower time frames, it's kind of rejecting off of it, right? As you can see, it's kind of doing one of these numbers, right? So we see that kind of taking place on the chart. So I'll be watching that closely for Bitcoin. Would love to see us do something explode, either go for a higher low here. Maybe we go for something like this, go for a higher low. And just because we have a higher low here, we have a higher low here. So, I wouldn't mind us, making another higher low here as well. But for the foreseeable future, I am kind of more bullish on Bitcoin. We're going into the rate cuts for the Fed, which market pretty much is priced in a cut happening at the next meeting. So expecting us to run and run into the meeting. And I wouldn't be surprised to see us, again, make this higher low, but then run into this 100K area where our flash crash lows were. So we'll monitor Bitcoin. We'll see what's up. Yesterday, we talked about a lot of these tokens bouncing off of their demand zones. Let me just kind of get my charts in order here. There we go. We see a lot of these tokens bouncing. We saw Solana bouncing, looking really nice on the 12-hour. Still, just like Bitcoin, haven't really broken like market structure, right? We saw with Bitcoin here, same thing, hasn't broken its market structure. Solana, same thing, hasn't broken its market structure. Yesterday, Fartcoin peaked above it, but it went right back below, hasn't really broken its market structure. And real quick, if you guys don't mind, I'd like to just kind of set my chart up a little better here so you guys can see this a little better on the 12-hour chart. But yeah, as you can see here, market structure break hasn't really fully been recognized. And actually pump fund kind of a little bit here, broke above its local market structure. But then you can even argue that, there's a much like higher market structure here that needs to be broken. You can even draw it out like that and say, well, it still hasn't broken out of its market structure. But yeah, so still some work to be done across the board though. I like how pump fund is looking. It's finally broke its downtrend here. Finally broke its downtrend on the daily. So now it's just a matter of, seeing a base form, because I haven't seen a powerful move yet, seeing a base form and then just continuing to go from there. So yeah, a lot of
I got a next tweet. Guys. Breaking news. Franklin Templeton Solana ETF is now live. 1.6 trillion in assets under management. Look, guys, while people and your KOLs were telling you Sol is going sub 100, the institutions are coming. What's great about this ETF is the Grayscale, Ethereum, and Bitcoin ETFs, when they converted, the way that the SEC allowed them to convert from Grayscale, so which had 100 bips of fees, to a lower cost or lower fee ETF, is they would have to sell their Grayscale ETF shares on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. When they did that, Grayscale had to send that Bitcoin and ETH to Coinbase custody or Coinbase institutional They would then sell that Bitcoin on the open market, and then those people could go and buy other lower fee ETFs. And so it kind of caused this like flood of Bitcoin and ETH into the market when those ETFs went live, because the SEC did not allow in-kind redemptions. However, with these Solana ETFs, that dynamic is not in play. The grayscale overhang won't exist, and so we might see a cleaner ETF launch now that these Solana ETFs are starting to ramp up. If you also see this other tweet here, Bank of America is telling its wealth clients to allocate 4% in digital assets. For investors with a strong interest in thematic innovation and comfort with elevated volatility, a modest allocation of 1 to 4% in digital assets could be appropriate. From the Chief Investment Officer of Bank of America Private Bank. Guys.
Can you link this tweet?
Yeah, I got you.
So guys, I'm actually working on another tweet that I wanted to put out, just because I think, again, 2026 is going to be insanely bullish. I just put out a tweet today that said, 2026 will be 2021 but better, and that's for a few reasons. First reason, I don't know if you guys watched the video. I don't know if you guys saw what, in addition to what Josh is saying, the banks are encouraging, clients to allocate to crypto. We see that Bank of America is doing it. Vanguard just started allowing crypto trading or access to crypto to its clients. But notice what else is also taking place. I'm going to share my screen, and I have to reshare it so that way I can share the audio. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but here is Trump, and notice what he says.
I can tell, it's a great group, and I guess a potential Fed chair is here too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential. He's a respected person, that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
Kevin.
So I don't
Who's
know
Kevin?
if you guys, who's Kevin? Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys
Kevin
who
Hassett.
Kevin is. Kevin Hassett is basically been the next been dubbed the next chair of the Fed chair. All right. And if you notice the odds on Kalshi, Kevin Hassett is the next Fed chair, reaching at an all-time high of 85%. After that recent dialogue from Trump. Now, if you notice what Kevin Hassett's baseline is, he is a dove. The guy wants to cut rates. And he's argued multiple times that rates should be well below 3%. We see Trump wants rates closer to 1%. So again, look at what's playing out for 2026. You have institutions offering crypto to clients. You have, ETFs that have already put in place. You have Bank of America saying that, allocating to crypto is now okay. You even have JP Morgan Chase, and they also have now crypto offerings. But on the liquidity side, you also see now that there's a dovish Fed that's about to be put in place for 2026. We talked about, over the course of this week and last week, the liquidity situation with rate cuts coming, with the QT just stopped on Monday. So look, 2026 is shaping up to be a very, very bullish year.
Hey, guys, the stream is crashing out for you guys, eh? I don't know how to troubleshoot that. I don't see that it's crashing out on our end. So this
I'm gonna check right now on another device.
Yeah, this might be an issue with X. Try going over to MCG YouTube and see if it's crashing out there, because we're also streaming on YouTube. Let me get you guys the link, and just let us know if it is, please. Apologies for that. I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, I'm on another device, and it looks like the stream is working just fine. Let me just double check.
Yeah, I got you guys. I want to make sure y'all are taken care of here. Just give us a second. All right, I'm linking in the chat to MCG YouTube. If you don't subscribe, go subscribe. You also don't have to even click that link. You can just go to YouTube and just search at Microcap Gem Show. At some point, we're probably going to change the handle to MCG Live, just so y'all know. But yeah, there you go. Go try and YouTube is fine. Thank you, the Cooler King 86. Appreciate you. Thanks for flagging that, Top Fumbler and Daddy Duster. Appreciate you. Bank of America, what a joke. Less than 24 months after them calling BTC and ETH scams, and they'd never invest. Gotta watch out for the way the major players and our advisors, the public, they trying to get some solid exit liquidity after packing their own bags.
Dude, Daddy Duster. I literally
shots fired.
Last week, I agree with you. Last week we had a discussion and I said, everything that we've seen from 15K to 100K has been a structural bid. Institutions have been getting themselves into position for when the rest of the money really comes in. And they took the time because it's been QT. Money has been going out of the system rather than coming in. And now that that's ended, now they want to, at the height of the fear, because just the other day, the Fear and Greed index was, at its lowest since like April or something like that. So just something to be aware of, you guys. Like, they're going to put themselves in position, and right when fear is at its most, that's when they're going to flip. And that's exactly what we saw this week. Like, they flipped right after we saw some pretty crazy price action. And now that they're offering, now Bank of America is coming out saying crypto's okay, JPMC saying the same thing, Vanguard offering it to its clients. Like, that doesn't happen by coincidence, bro. That's not a coincidence. It's if anything, it's by design.
So I want to get to some ownership token stuff. Just another data point in a number of success stories coming out of MetaDAO from Profit here. This is Avicii's spend volume over time. Can you see the point at which they launched an ownership coin? Spend volume through the roof, assuming this is close to when they launched or back here, but this is daily volume. So almost $200,000 these wicks are headed to. But I think this is a story of good product meets ownership, meets community, and user acquisition. So if you don't have a great product, I don't think necessarily these things are true. But in this scenario, Avicii is executed flawlessly. There is another tweet I wanted to go through as well. So shout out to you, Avicii holders, on that one. What was my other tweet? Oh, Dom sent this. Okay, maybe we'll just quickly look at this real quick. And we are waiting for Ranger Finance to join. Okay, this is actually something I've wanted to look at. This is Counterparty TV. Maybe
Thread
we're
guys.
we like Thread Guy. Look, respect on his name. The market may be already overvaluing Uni. Currently trades at 25 times implied revenue. Pump trades at 5.3x, Hype at 9.3x. So there's 25x implied revenue. So that is 216 million revenue versus an $8.5 billion market cap. So this is maybe more of like relative valuation. So you could probably add Met into this as well. I don't know what the Met numbers would be, but yeah, Pump trades pretty cheap, and Hype is 10 times. So I don't think much to gather out of this other than just that Uniswap might have a premium on it. I think there's a premium on it just because there's a lot of legacy holders, and just the market structure of that is a lot different. A lot of exchange listings and people market making it. But yeah, I don't know what you gather from this.
Yeah, no, agreed. Honestly, don't have much of a take on Uni. I really don't pay attention to them as much um ever since they made the move to Solana, but really they were just, I believe, whose tech were they using? They were using a competitor's tech essentially. I think it was, what was it, Jupiter, or like ever since that I just stopped paying attention to Uniswap, honestly. Um, because obviously the volume, the users, like everything is here on Solana, and
Yeah.
it's clear when you see others kind of pivoting
But
towards that.
all-time high on their DEX volume over the last few months. You can see the cycles here. So I guess that's kind of good for on-chain base and ETH. What else
I
do we
think
got?
base is carrying them heavy. There's still a ton of activity on base. Shout out to Repo on base. You guys should check that out. But yeah, I think there's a lot of like activity still happening on base, but not necessarily on mainnet.
Yeah.
And so that could potentially be carrying um
Yeah.
Uniswap's numbers.
Let's go
But yeah,
through until Ranger Finance joins. Why don't we go through some other different charts and stuff?
real quick, I wanna take a look at Prophet's latest tweet. One of his recent tweets from yesterday. He says, "When I was initially pitching founders on why they should launch on MetaDAO back in May, there were two projects that were my dream projects to work with. The first was Avicii. We all know how that ended. The second just DM'd me saying he wants to launch. So guys, I'll be paying very close to I'll be paying very close attention to MetaDAO at this point." And he says here, obviously nothing is finalized, could not happen, but it really feels like the ball is now rolling downhill. I mean, I love that for these guys, man. I love that for these guys, and I think that's really exciting. It's potentially another massive trade in the works here. So something I'll be keeping an eye on as we watch MetaDAO projects. We saw how things played out for Avicii, so definitely things could play out here for this new project if the potential is there. And I would say that Meta Profit has a pretty good eye for projects if some of the launches on his platform are any indication. Let's look at some charts. Solo, man, looking very, very strong. We're seeing kind of the market, I don't want to say stall out, maybe pause, take a breather here. With Bitcoin kind of deciding on its direction. Um, but as everything is kind of taking a pause, Solo is actually still holding up quite well. Still holding up quite well. And on the 12 hour, actually, like 12 hours still green. Unlike most. So yeah, Solo's looking really good. Um, Avicii caught a really nice pump um, off of that tweet about their numbers. And a man, like Avicii's chart is just so freaking clean, bro. But yeah, look at this here. Nice little bounce off that. We covered it just when we were covering it last week. It was kind of down here. I'm like, perfect kind of dip buy opportunity. Literally just staircase to Valhalla. So I love that. Love that on Avicii. I don't know if you guys have seen let's see, let me see here. There's some other stuff in the works. I mean, there's not much that has launched. I would say not much has launched on um as far as like new launches are concerned, but let's look at infra. I saw infra showed up. So I follow this guy. Um man, look at that. Man, look at that.
Dude, shout out Infra. Like
Holy.
that chart look at that red box though, eh?
Hey, look.
Look at that red box.
Dude, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. You guys look, don't pay attention to the red boxes, man. Pay attention to the red boxes. There's this guy that I follow. on YouTube, and I forget his Twitter, but his name is like Jesse Eckel or something like that. But I used to follow him like way back in the day, when I first started like in crypto. And recently, his content has kind of shifted towards like, ICM, towards kind of my frame of thinking. So I've been kind of paying attention to what he's been talking about. Let me see if I can real quick track down his YouTube, and use that to track down his Twitter, because he's a pretty big voice, but he's also bullish on infra apparently. I was watching one of his latest videos, and I was like, dude, really? I didn't know that infra was really out here, making splashes outside of, because they started on Believe. I don't know if they've migrated off of Believe just yet, but yeah, like I was just surprised to see that their name was kind of getting out there. But this is him. This is Jesse Eckel, 270K subs on YouTube. Uh, Pretty much talks about macro, and he has a lot of the same views on the market that I have, in terms of like liquidity driving things for 2026. He also thinks that 2026 is going to be a pretty bullish year. So like a lot of his content is around that stuff. But in one of his latest YouTube videos, he actually outlined that he was bullish on infra as well. And I was like, wow, really? Didn't know that they were moving like that. But yeah, charts looking good. I still have to do a little bit more digging on exactly what infra offers. But I love the chart at the very least. Actually, let me do a little digging. Because when they first launched, they didn't really come out with a ton of information. Basically, what we heard on infra at the launch was basically that they're doing their infrastructure, and the dev is apparently quote unquote crack dev, right? So I'm kind of wanting to do a little bit more research. Not much that I'm seeing. Now. Let me see if I can go to their X real quick. I want to see if there's any recent updates. Decentralizing intelligence is what their X is saying. Let's see. Looks like there's some type of swap interface. I want to see if there's like a um hmm. I'll do a little bit more digging on that, and I'll see why. I'll kind of get a sense of why it's pumping. But chart looks good on infra. Let's go over to CLED real quick, see what's up with CLED on the daily. Wow, nice pump on CLED, and look at that freaking red box. But yeah, CLED looks good, pumping off the bottom. Basically, we discussed this last week, and last week I drew up this red box. And again, like I don't touch these things, man. Like I don't know if you noticed, my chart on Avicii is literally the same every time. Like every time I draw stuff on stream, I literally just leave it. I don't touch it at all. So yeah, red box is looking good. Nice little pump here out of the 0.786 deep value area. So looking good on the CLED chart. As far as recent launches, there's a recent launch that I've been kind of paying attention to, or at least I put it on the watch list anyway. Let me show you guys this. It's something called Riffs. And let me go to the 4-hour chart on this. It's a little like it's a little too high for my taste. As far as like, where it's pumped to, there's not really much, it's not really much, it's not really much charting that I can do on this one. All I know is, let's go to the 12-hour real quick. When you go to the 12-hour, you realize that it's kind of like at resistance here, right? Like on a much higher time frame, mind you, but it's at resistance. When I go down to the 4-hour, I want to see what does it do here. Does it break through this resistance, or does it kind of come back down? I'm gonna go ahead and set a red box because here's kind of a more. This is a more sustainable, not sustainable, but this is a much better support level from what I can see on this chart. And this is kind of the range that this chart has been in for a long time. I say this all the time on these streams, especially in this choppy environment. I like to draw out ranges, kind of get a sense of where things are. And then because it's a choppy market, like, we aren't seeing tokens like, go to 50, 100 mil, out the gate. So just something to be aware of. As far as like entry is concerned, I would love, let me just draw a red box here. I think a buy zone would probably be right here. That would be a buy zone for me. And again, this is just for me, and no financial advice for you guys. Make your own decisions, but just one that I'm watching. So what is Rifts? Basically, it's this new DeFi protocol that's on Solana. I don't know if you guys have, are interested in DeFi on Solana or what have you. But there's a few posts that kind of give us a much better indication of what Rifts is. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with chat. Are you guys familiar with Peas Finance from ETH? Yes, top fumbler. I saw a repo on Base. I think it's actually like pretty gigabrain tech. So I'm actually going to go through that today as well. Glad you're on YouTube and everything is working there as well. And then Pepe's Frankie's I don't even know, G8 Frankie's God. But yeah, Frankie's, Pepe, yeah. Paystream and ZK, we can go through those in the MetaDAO eco. Guys, drop any more tickers. If you want us to look at something, just drop tickers in the chat, drop some projects. We'll do some live research here on stream. Appreciate you guys joining us. But yeah, so let's go through Rift, and then we'll go through Repo, Paystream, ZK. We'll look at all of those here today. So let's see here. Rift. Basically, Rift is this yield generating protocol. Basically, it uses arbitrage to generate yield and to generate revenue. There was a particular thread that I saw on it that really helped it to stand out and make sense for me. I think I would even say Money Lord put out a post about this. But let me take a look here. Here's the kind of 411 on what this is. The attention and revenue flywheel for Rifts will be legendary. Word spread like Rifts price goes up. What is Rifts, et cetera, et cetera. This was not the tweet that I saw. There was another one specifically that I saw that kind of gave us a much better explanation of Rifts, but it's basically you can use Rifts instead of just single-sided liquidity. And I don't know if you guys know Peas Finance, but it's basically volatility farming. So you kind of create a rift asset, like an R asset, and then you can kind of arb the different value between the real asset and the Rift asset. So it's volatility farming. It's basically just wrapping a general asset with the Rift technology, and then just kind of using that to farm volatility. Very complex, but could be massive if it worked as intended. Yes, actually, here I believe I'm almost got the thread. Let me just see here if I can get it, because there's a thread that it just explains it in a much better way than I can. Let me see here. Okay, so here's one tweet that kind of puts it in a perspective from the homie Crypto Whale. He says, once you actually dig into the tech behind Rifts, see how crazy the arbitrage bot performs, and grasp the revenue model, you'll realize the brilliance of volatility farming. If we look at the numbers, 50 sold in profits within just a few days from a minimal number of pools. It clearly demonstrates the real power of volatility farming. Give it a little more time, and you will see Rifts go completely parabolic. Okay, a little bit of a shill. The revenue model that can easily do 300 sold a day in profits and redirect 75% into buybacks and burns. So yeah, I mean, volatility farming on Solana essentially is what this is. And I would love to be able to track down a thread for you guys that helps put this all into perspective. And this is all kind of live DD here, live DD on stream. So bear with me here. Let me see. We also Moby also noticed that some Avicii whales were bidding as well. Actually, that was not, this was this was the tweet, not that. But yeah, some Moby whales kind of bidding this here at 2.6 mil market cap. So, you know, we're seeing some interest, you know, come from the market. And that's getting picked up by Moby. I actually like saw riffs on the Moby mobile app. I don't know if you guys are using Moby mobile, but they actually just released a new feature. Maybe we can go through that in a little bit. But they released a new feature called Movers, and it kind of helps you to kind of keep up in real time with what's catching a bid, what's looking good on chain. So yeah, I'll maybe look. I can't find the thread right now, but maybe I can look and I can bring it up at a later time, and you know, we can kind of dig into what exactly the tech is all about. All right, so let's look into Repo here. Repo is another great project on Base. I don't, fortunately, I have to use a different screener for Base. So let me pull up Repo. So basically, what I heard about Repo is that it is basically like Tau level tech, essentially. It's been going pretty crazy over the last few days. It's said to be 500K or 5 mil market cap. But I think there's some difference with the market cap on Dex Screener and the market cap on and the real market cap. So keep that in mind. But I haven't actually done a lot of digging on Repo and exactly what it is. Top Fumbler, do you have any threads or like any like thesis? I'm just gonna go straight up to their Twitter and just do some like live DD on it. But here's their Twitter. And GM Charchit Web3. Appreciate you guys joining. Some Chads from SOAR are joining us here today. All right.
Yeah, Charchit Web3, you launched an eSIM product.
GSIM,
yeah, GSIM. Do you want to, yeah, is it GSIM? Yeah, if you want to hop on, Ranger Finance, I don't know when they're joining, if they're joining, but if you want to hop on live, hit up the MCG account DMs and we'll get you a stream link and you can come on and talk about what you're building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'd love to have you, bro. We'd love to have you. So yeah, so let's see. Repo here. Why world models need better training data, and Repo's market-based approach is critical. Yeah, chill. Check the Twitter. I linked for a Repo thesis, the PX guy. Let me check out Top Fumbler's Twitter real quick. Top Fumbler, the homie.
Always a risk searching on X. Never know what
yeah,
you're gonna
always
get.
a risk. Always a risk.
Top Fumbler, especially. You never know.
Thankfully I'm a risk taker. Yeah, at chill, check Twitter. Let me see. Did you like link me or something? No. The PX guy. Yeah, link me in the chat, bro. Link it in the chat. The tweet, and I'll go through it. Here we go. Look, a freaking Chad you are, Top Fumbler. I appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Some live DD on stream. Don't you guys see my link? Yeah, I just pulled it up. Just saw it. Let's see here. I see something. Everyone's longing. Ari bots. Wait a second here. I see. Repo is architecturally aligned with where robotics data is going. Again, new category, but not yet technically aligned with what robotics companies need today. Foundation is there. Repo, X robotics, directionally perfect, technically early, strategically massive. I love that description actually. Let's see. Making virtuals robotics the dominant push for 2026. So looks like virtuals is actually making that a big push of theirs. His thread is very deconstructed, but he keeps adding to ID. He keeps adding to it, and Repo engaged with him and added context to his takes. Got it. Thanks, Top Fumbler. So yeah, apparently this is a robotics, like a robotics training data play, I believe, from kind of what I'm picking up here. Let me see. Repo, further alignment with vision, private subnets, prediction market incentives, no microtasks. Let's see. The death of static. Okay. New concept of living data sets versus static data sets. Matters because most AI data sets are dead snapshots. This is very, very, very technical. Very technical. I mean, honestly, when things get this technical, it means there's something there. What we have to do now is just kind of make sense of it. But we know
one thing I'll note on this, just to take this into consideration, is Maya just retweeted one of his videos talking about robotics hardware bets versus robotics software adjacent bets. And the reason that robotics hardware bets through ownership tokens are going to be big, and Street that's their first incubation, which I don't know if that's going to happen in January or when that's happening, but they basically the hardware is tough and there's a handful of players, but everyone is using narrative around the adjacent, whether it be training, whether it be, I don't know, connected robotics protocols. Like we've had robotics projects reach out and want to get on the show, and we said no, and they tried to pay and we still said no. It's like, got to be, very, very careful with robotics plays. Not saying that repo is a bad play, but I just think distinguishing software-based robotics plays apart from hardware-based robotics plays is important.
I got you. I honestly still wouldn't fade this though. There's something here. They want to train based on living data that updates, competes, self-corrects, and responds to the world as it changes. I think that's actually it's actually a great point, because basically what they're saying is there's just a static data set. Just there's one piece of data that doesn't change, and all of AI is kind of trained on that data. So it's not particularly focused on just robotics. It's more focused on data from what I'm seeing here. Let's see. And apparently, like data, they want to train AI on living data that is powered by verified human feedback. And I guess the way they get that feedback is through a prediction market structure that doesn't just crowdsource data. It transforms training data into dynamic, incentive-driven ecosystem. Every label, annotation, or correction becomes a micro prediction. Every participant has something at stake. Okay. If static data sets are already cracking under the demands of language models, they are completely unfit for the next frontier of AI, physical intelligence, robotics, embodied AI, machines that must navigate the fluid, unpredictable chaos of the real world. Basically, you stake your token to label data. If you label it badly, you lose your tokens, just like a prediction market. Got it. Repo is not about robotics. Actually, it's simply a new protocol that lets users label data. Yeah, I want to dig into this more deeply. It's not a data marketplace. It's not a crowdsourcing platform, but a living data economy. So yeah, I guess so. I guess they're using, you know, human feedback in order to provide a way to update data sets, because really when you collect data, it stays the same over time. Um, and that's what I'm thinking here as well. Top Fumbler, like the fact that it's the only comparison is to Tau, like that's actually pretty insane. But the you know, it's crazy that it's crazy that this the closest thing to this is Tau. I think this has like a lot of upside to it. But I
What's
have
the
to dig into it.
repo? What's the repo ticker? Is it REPPO?
Yeah, REPPO. Yeah.
Can
So
you paste that X account or what you're looking at just into private so I can add it to the notes?
yeah, let me see real quick if this article kind of explains it. Explains it. I think this article might explain it a little bit better. Let me see. Traditional methods. What repo does differently: prediction markets plus stake-backed human feedback. On the repo network, data generation and annotation isn't via centralized label farms or fixed pay clickbot tasks. Instead, contributors or miners propose raw data, sensor logs, geospatial data, robotics telemetry, or unlabeled content, and other participants validate or other participants vote on, annotate, or validate that data. Validators don't just get paid, they stake tokens as proof of confidence, making them economically accountable for the quality and correctness of their labeling. This is organized as subnets, each of which can specialize. Oh, this is the Tau component. This is why it's similar to Tau, because of this kind of subnet sort of structure. And so with the labeling, it says that with these subnets, you can then specialize. These subnets can specialize in robotics, legal documents, multimodal images, and more. Um, wow, this is pretty. In short, repo doesn't just outsource labeling; it rethinks the fundamental economics and incentives of data generation. Wow. And we all know why data matters, right? Data is the new oil. We see that. This is actually pretty massive. All right, here's the link to this article. I think it explains it a lot better. But TLDR on repo is this. Data sets are static in that they don't change, they stay the same. One piece of data cannot update itself, it cannot change to reflect what that data could be in real time. So essentially, repo kind of provides this this I guess you can say mechanism or platform or piece of technology that enables users to come in and validate that data, basically update it. So it makes that data dynamic in that it's not just one input that represents one thing. It can now be changed. It can now be updated to reflect what the reality of what the reality of that data is. And the users are aligned in that they have to stake repo tokens in order to, they have to stake repo tokens in order to basically, you know, participate in this data labeling. And I guess that's where robotics comes into play is subnets like Tau. Subnets can specialize in certain things, and so maybe one of those things could be robotics, right? So wow, I kind of like that. I'm going to do a little bit more digging here on repo. I've had it on the watch list. I got a ping on it the other day, and while I was kind of doing the scan, and yeah, it looks good, looks good. So I'm gonna do a little bit more digging on this. But you know, as far as the chart is concerned, I guess 5 mil looks like 5 mil is the market cap right now. 5 mil is the market cap. I think it came down from 1 mil sort of area. So yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Man, this is a really good find. This is one I was going to talk about today. So thanks for reminding me about that Top Fumbler. Looks good. All right, let's go to MetaDAO. let's go to some MetaDAO projects real quick. I noticed the same thing, Pepe, that there were some other MetaDAO projects that, raised on the platform, but haven't quite gotten the same level of attention. So maybe it could be worth going through some of these projects. The two that you mentioned, which, are the two on here, Paystream and ZK Soul. So they both didn't really receive the overall, attention that, something like a Solo or an Avicii received. But let's dig in real quick to Paystream. So Paystream is a modular Solana protocol that unifies peer-to-peer lending, leveraged liquidity provision, and yield routing into a single capital-efficient engine. It matches lenders and borrowers at fair mid-market rates, turning idle capital into productive liquidity through automated routing and leveraged enabled LP strategies across several pools. Let's see here. The system enables the wide APY spread seen in pool-based models like Camino and Juplend, delivering high yields for lenders, lower rates for borrowers, and zero idle funds. Every dollar on Paystream is always moving, always earning. Paystream is raising through MetaDAO. Okay, so peer-to-peer lending, basically a liquidity optimizer on Paystream. Let me look at their Twitter. I would want to get a little bit more layman's terms. Look, I'm a smooth brain DJ, guys. I need a little bit more layman's terms breakdown on this project. While we look for some stuff here, let me go to their chart here. Let me go to their chart here. Pays. All right, 1.3 mil market cap. Let's look at at a higher time frame, 12-hour. It basically looks like what most MetaDAO projects look like when they first launch, right? They kind of sell off, people take profit, traders do their thing, and it's kind of just sitting at these bottom levels. So let me see if I can find something that can kind of break this down in a much more simple way. Let's look on CT. It looks like I got to refresh the Mobi screener. Here we go. There we go. It kind of glitched out a little bit on me. So that's the chart. Let's look for real quick something that can help us break this down. Okay, here's something that we can kind of dig into. Boom. And let me share this tab. All right, so P2P lending protocol matches lenders and borrowers directly, like we talked about. So I guess just with doing this, it makes it better than your average lending platform like an Aave or something like that. It can provide competitive rates to each party, right? So competitive rates to something like a competitive rates to lenders and borrowers. So, providing cheaper borrowing rates, but, kind of giving lenders a higher APY. And they do this through this sort of like liquidity engine that they have. So the P2P rate is basically the interesting part in this. As you probably noticed, the APY spread is usually high on any lending app, and the borrower APY is usually not really favorable. On Paystream, the spread is basically removed thanks to the matching system. Borrowers and lenders' positions are matched directly. So typical rates, borrowers, it's 15% to borrow. You earn 8% when you lend supply and pay 15% when you borrow. So that's a little rough, right? 15%. Kind of high. 8%, not a lot to earn on lending. So on something like a Paystream, using kind of their rates, the borrowing rate could go down to something like 11.5%. So again, just a lot better in terms of cost. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure how much DeFi, DeFi will catch a bid. Again, MetaDAO projects, they all look well. They all look good, right? From a fundamental standpoint, because of the tokenomics behind MetaDAO and their projects and the ownership aspect of things. But I still have to see exactly exactly how much adoption they get. I need to see more on like users, like how, like, what's the metrics looking like on a project like this. So let's kind of go through their Twitter. Let's see if we can pick up anything. Week 4 stability phase. Let me see. Let's go through this article real quick. Again, just some live DD here on stream. Let's see if we can dig up anything. No metrics. I want to see users, man. I want to see something like, tell me how much people are using this. Who is this good for? Let's see. Umbra. Let's see. Not really seeing much. I really want to see the numbers. See, total numbers 36 users from what this tweet is saying, and they retweeted it. So I'm assuming there's some sort of validity to this tweet. And I don't know but here's the thing, I don't know if this is MetaDAO or is this the PayStream. I'm assuming it's PayStream. But yeah, I need more users. So that's what I would say on PayStream, Pepe. I'd say I need more users first. I want to, and I mean the fact that they're not highlighting the amount of users on stream or on their Twitter. I don't know if it's like in a beta or what have you, but usually when you have a ton of users on your product, that's something you want to highlight, right? But I'm not seeing them highlight that on their Twitter. So maybe let's see. Let's go to their website. Maybe they have more information there. That's the last thing I'd like to check for. The product itself seems solid. The product, and it says we are live. So obviously people can use this. So I want to see who's actually using it. Or no, it says join the wait list. So maybe the product is live. Maybe the token is live, but not the product itself. So maybe that's what we wait for, Pepe. Maybe we wait for the product to go live. I would love to kind of get more information on when do they go, when are they going to plan on going live?
So you're thinking this might be a good competitor to Aave, peer-to-peer lending and borrowing, right?
Yeah, I think it could be.
If they show any sign of success, that's a pretty good margin on-chain business.
Yeah. And it's all about capital efficiency, right? Capital is always being put to work. That's the part about this that makes it the most efficient. But yeah, I just need to see people use this first. But maybe it's not live yet type thing. Because it says wait list.
Link that Kantian tweet, please.
Kantian tweet? The last one there?
Yeah, new expiration of MetaDAO project PayStream.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll link that for you. All right, cool. So that's not Kantian. That's PayStream. All right, so you want us to check out ZK. Let's try out ZK Soul. So privacy is big. Privacy is big right now, hot narrative. Let's see. Cryptocurrency mixers enable blockchain privacy by pooling and shuffling funds to break transaction links on public ledgers. They embody a core paradox. Robust anonymity requires funds to dwell in the mixer for extended periods, allowing diverse user activities to mask individual traces. This delays access to capital, clashing with users' need for swift liquidity in volatile markets and incurring opportunity costs like foregone yields. Zero knowledge liquid staking on Solana addresses this by basing its mixer on liquid staking tokens. Upon deposit, SOL converts to a liquid staking token, an LST. That is staked. Users earn rewards while they wait for the period to end. So I guess that's a sort of crypto solving a crypto problem, essentially. Let's go to their Twitter here. Let's go to their Twitter. Let's see what they have on their Twitter. Earn yield privately on Solana. No Discord, only Telegram. All right, let's see. Oh, looks like they're rebranding to Turbine Cash. Okay, so looks like they're almost done with their rebrand. Maybe it's already rebranded at some point. Let's see, private transfer, private yield. Looks like Solana Stream. Who is this? I don't know if this is not directly related to Solana, this account, just FYI. But looks like ZK. Where are they? ZK. I don't see them. Am I missing something? I don't even see them on this list. Loyal RCM. Okay, I don't really even see them on this list. Oh, that's the point of the tweet. Cute list, but missing them. Got it. Let's see. I don't know. This is okay. This is okay. Again, want to see this. Like, I want to see users. I want to see growth. They're also going through a rebrand, which, that means their identity, and there's still some things that they're trying to hammer down on this. So yeah, I don't know. This is a little. This still needs some work. This still needs some time.
Can you open a chart?
Yeah, let me open up a chart on this. But yeah, this still needs some time to just allow the team to build. And essentially, remember, like, these are all startups, guys. This is the ZKFG ticker. Got it. Yeah. So here's the chart. Again, basically in the same early stage setup that we see MetaDAO projects find themselves in. This is this basically has gone through its sideways consolidation, or is going through, I should say, its sideways consolidation after launch. So not really much you can do here. From what I understand, ZKFG is actually, technically, on the technical side of things, it's actually pretty decent. Like the protocol itself is, it holds weight. The tech holds weight. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can pull up a tweet as well, because I think there was a tweet that explained ZKFG really well. But yeah, from a technical standpoint, from what I have heard, is it's actually pretty good. It looks like some whale has been aping into ZKFG as well. I think they're like a 200K tweet. I mean, a 200K whale. Here's the tweet here, and I'll link that to you, Josh. But yeah, this is kind of just some evidence that, again, there's an interested party. But again, another reason for me to continue to be confident in saying, hey, look, this is actually the tech side of this actually holds weight. I need someone to kind of help to break this down a little bit more. So that way I can actually understand this. But yeah, ZKFG. I would say that this still needs a little bit of work. They're working on their identity. And I don't know if the product is live yet. I think that's the other thing. Let me go to their website and see. But it's basically a crypto solution to a crypto problem. And those got kind of get a little bit tricky. I'm not sure what the demand is for like something like this. If people that are, you know, doing private swaps and stuff like that, or if they're going through you know, a private a privacy protocol, if their funds are sort of like quote unquote locked away, do they actually need those funds immediately? Like, I don't know if that's an actual thing that um I don't know if that's an actual thing that you know, a lot of people need. So I don't know what the market demand is. I'm sure there is demand out there. I just don't know how much. According to their website, looks like they're working with Range, Jupiter. Um, so every deposit undergoes multi-layered screening via Range. Deposits are screened in real time, geo-blocking on OFAC sanction and other high-risk jurisdictions for security. Yeah, so not yeah, I'm not going to connect my wallet, unfortunately. Yeah, so I would say again, same thing as the other protocol. Like, you know, this is more so um it's an early stage project at the end of the day. These are all startups, so they need time for things to develop. You know, some startups develop faster than others. So, you know, we see things like Avicii and we see things like Avicii as well as Solo and a few others in the MetaDAO ecosystem catch a bid. They're getting some attention. That doesn't mean automatically that every MetaDAO project is just going to go up. It does depend on, you know, the development and how far along they are in that process. Just like we were talking about with Avicii, it just so happened that Avicii has been in the market. They were already a functioning business that had some of the groundwork already laid for them. So they already built things out. And the fact that they were gaining traction, it just makes sense that after some time in the market being up, they just, you know, they issue an ownership token to align with the community. And when you get good tech, good traction slash adoption slash metrics, and then you also have a good community alignment, you know, that's how you become the darling of CT. And that's kind of what happened with Avicii. In this case, you know, you have potentially good tech. You know, I don't have a reason to believe that they don't have good technology. I think MetaDAO does well at, you know, doing the DD on these projects. But I think the metrics is really where we need to kind of focus in and see where that is. And again, if they had really good metrics like users, volume, whatever, that's something that they should highlight on their Twitter. And they're not doing that. So it tells me that, you know, maybe they're still in the early stages for even metrics on those kinds of things. So yeah, well, thanks. Great insight. No problem, Pepe. Glad I can help, bro. If you guys have any other
Is there any other MetaDAO ones? I have like a really great thread here going as you're speaking.
I don't. I think that's all of the MetaDAO ones that we.
Paystream, ZK Soul, Solomon. Oh yeah, okay.
So what I like about MetaDAO as well is that they're not just like launching like, you know, crap every single week. You know, there's launch pads of the past that have, you know, because you're a launch pad, it doesn't mean you have to launch something every day or every week, right? Like, you can chill. It's okay. Like, you can like take a second to breathe, relax, and kind of see and see what's you know, what protocols are good, what makes sense to launch, what teams are actually good. And I think this is where MetaDAO is doing a great job. I've always said this about MetaDAO. They seem to be the sort of Web3 native solution to ownership and token holder protections, I'll say, but ultimately prioritizing holders and making sure they actually have a stake in the success of the various projects that they support. But yeah, you know, they're not just launching, you know, vaporware every week. They're taking the time to do DD on different things, and yeah, and you know, just take their time, man. Just take their time, make sure that they're launching actually good tech. And so that's why I say with ZK Soul and Paystream, there's not really a reason for me to think that the tech isn't good. I just need to see the metrics. I need to see who's using this, why are they using it, And I want the team to, talk to us about that, at least on your Twitter account, on your main page, right? So yeah, there's that. What else? Let's see.
Pull up Loyal real quick while we're on this.
Yeah, let me pull up Loyal here.
Let's take a quick, I'll just add a quick note on Loyal. We've covered it the last couple of days. There might not be any change here, but just for continuity purposes, if you can throw it on screen.
Boom. So here's Loyal.
I mean, this chart looks just great.
Yeah, chart looks good. Also, one thing I'd say as well is, sorry, that was bugging me. That the colors weren't the same. Anywho, this is the floor price, right? We talked about this, $24. I mean, 24 cents almost. Last time we talked about it a few days ago on Monday, it was kind of here right above that floor price. And again, we talked about this 1.5 mil in buybacks going into this Loyal chart. And they are basically, it's basically a decentralized chat GPT, like where your information is private. It's not, being sold or anything like that. So yeah, that's what I would say is my take here on Loyal. Not much to update. I guess we can look at their Twitter and see if there's anything, any recent updates. But I remember that, again, privacy, pretty big protocol. I mean, not protocol. Privacy is a pretty big narrative, and not really much that they've updated in the last couple of days since we last covered them.
How much did they raise? Like, do we know the backstory behind this
8 mil.
1.5 million? So they raised 8 mil.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But this was a proposal for buybacks, right? So when we go here, we go to Loyal, and I wonder if there's a place where we can see the proposals. I don't see where we can see the proposals in here. But yeah, basically it was a proposal, right? So
But confirmed. So sorry, 75 committed. How much did they take go up a little bit? Does it say the final details there?
75 mil committed. Oh, I think it was on the last screen. Yep. So raised 2.5 mil. So they had.
So they took 2.5 mil and they're putting 1.5 mil to hold the floor of the chart. Interesting.
No, let's hold on before we say that. I think we should. I don't think that's the full picture. Let me just try to confirm something real quick.
I'm trying to break it down a little bit here because I was a little unclear of that's an interesting use of capital. And I don't know if the team is like, we don't need all this capital, we can do this, or if this is kind of futarki guys saying, I want out of these positions or whatever. But I don't know. I'm trying to understand.
Let's see. Alrighty. So here's the tweet. Here's a tweet that kind of outlines the Loyal buyback proposal, and I don't know how much funds were raised. I'm trying to see if I can find that somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure how much was raised. That's the part that I'm still sort of looking for. This is the decentralize or die thread that he did on Loyal, where he kind of covers what it solves, and we went through this, I believe it was yesterday or the day before. But I wanted to see if he actually went through how much they raised. I don't think he went through how much they raised on the SOAR launch. SOAR launch, the METADAO launch. Let me see. Maybe maybe we can go through their Twitter to see. I'm sure they have it on their Twitter how much they raised. So that's the proposal. They went through that.
I think what's missing in this is there's a pretty viral effect. He has a video here of him talking about, he just tweeted it 14 hours ago, Chris Cherniakov. Send money using Telegram handle, everything client side and on-chain, permissionless. You don't need a TG to send. You need one to claim, though. Like sending money on TG is kind of novel.
It's been done before.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah, it's been done before. And like privacy enabled and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen that done on ETH before. But again, like I would much rather you say like, hey, let's do that on, some like an app that like kind of more non-crypto native. Let's see. Man, I'm not seeing how much they raised. Maybe their raise was like a minute ago. We had them on stream. Shout out Loyal.
Yeah.
We had them on stream a while back.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I just can't remember. Oh, actually, I wonder. No. Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, like, is it fair value here or is there something that we're missing? And then, use of funds to, buy back stuff always is interesting. So there was, but if you look at the, so here, I'll just share this real quick because I have it on screen. This proposal looks like it was fairly contested, though. It wasn't like a slam dunk here either. So pass votes, market cap 5 million, and then fail 4 million, 91,000 total volume. So maybe this is just me not understanding the Fratarki thing, but I mean, that's not a huge, it's not like everyone was like, yeah, let's do this. But maybe I'm misunderstanding this.
Yeah, I'm that's one thing I'm not familiar with, is kind of the Fratarki.
Okay, so this allocation of capital will allow us to protect our holders who want to see us build our vision, accumulate tokens for OTC deals without increasing the supply. Okay, so this is kind of interesting here. So if they have enough product, substance that people are trying to do OTC deals with them, I think that's definitely notable. Because even if they were like, why would they do OTC deals? Like exchange listings? I'm sure they thought about that because usually OTC deals, they want, the investor wants a discount. So you're buying it at 25 cents and then you're going to sell it OTC for, 20% discount like that. That's usually how OTC deals work. So that's weird to me a little bit. Here's a okay, 1.5 period of 30 days. I don't know. Maximum order price. So I'm interested to know if because the price has been above that. Sorry guys, we're just trying to like figure out if there's something here we're missing, and there's
live DD, boys. This is live DD.
All loyal tokens will be transferred to the DAO's treasury here. Okay.
Hey Pepe, what ICM breaking news, brother?
It was the
Oh shoot,
beamable.
beamable.
Yeah. Although I haven't checked, we'll check out that chart next, but that one, that chart was kind of like down only. I think it got heavily airdrop farmed.
What's that?
The beamable chart.
Let me check.
All right, I'm looking at this analytics.
Yep, that chart is looking kind of rough. I'm not gonna.
Like, let's not sugar gloss that one. Yeah, can we pull up? All right, so I don't think we've capped it on loyal. I don't see any information here that's okay. So here we go. The loyal pros reaches its last few hours. Current volume 70K, likelihood 89%. So it looks like it was fairly voted on for what it's worth. I mean, pretty low volume to be buying a 1.5 million into, to be honest with you. That's crazy. So anyways, we'll leave that there. Beamable, can you throw that chart up by chance?
Are you sure?
I mean, we gotta, right?
Yeah. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Wait.
Goodness.
So
What
like
what are we? What is going on
this
here?
is what I saw at first, right? I was like, oh wow, like not a bad chart. Cool. But then like I was like, holy crap. Okay, let me zoom out and zoom out and zoom. Oh my god, dude. Dude, that's crazy. That's
Do you have an
that's
ICO price
insanity.
on Beamable?
I do not.
Like,
Let me,
how are like, did people get absolutely destroyed on this? I hope not.
yeah, I have no idea. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea what this ICO'd at. Yeah, rough little action on this chart here. Rough action on this chart. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's been a pretty slow day here. Markets trying to decide on what direction they want to go. Looks like ETH is starting to outperform a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. ETH BTC. Yeah. Yeah, I think ETH is ETH making a go for it. Can I farm some clout real quick? Can I share something with you guys? Because
This Beamable chart is hurting my eyes.
I called the top on Zek. Remember that stream I said, hey, this looks like the BTC 2021 chart, like with the double top. And I literally top called the Zek chart. And yeah, it's getting a little dead cat bounce, I guess you can say, a little bounce off the bottom. But yeah, called that. But yeah, this is ETH. ETH is showing some strength here off of this demand zone that it's been in. Actually, let me just do something real quick, guys, if you don't mind, just so I can clean up this chart and we can make sure it's looking good. All right, cool. So yeah, it's bouncing off this demand zone. Wow, looks like Bitcoin is also making its move as well, but hasn't really decided it wants to break this area here. So still making a decision. Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Can we go back to this Beamable thing? I just want to read out this because I want to give them a fair shake here. I don't want to just
Yeah.
you look at a chart and judge. You know, look, we're contributors to ICM Run. We want to support our friends there. John was on the show. So yeah, chart, no doubt, not looking too great.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to show it, to be honest.
Yeah, no denying that, I think. Let's see here. So I'll just read this out. So focus on believers we believe in. If you guys remember, this is a company that's providing
Compute.
Top Fumbler. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Do you know the ICO price, Top Fumbler? And if you're okay to share, how much is it down to current price right now? We're trying to understand that. We knew their launch would be difficult. Okay. I don't know what that means, and we still chose to step in. In short term, success was not what we looked towards with Beamable. It was the long-term potential they could have on the back of their proven potential. Okay. Conviction means showing up before everything is polished, and our aim was to assist in helping them with polishing everything as much as we could. So our role has been and continues to be to help set grounds for attracting people aligned with Beamable's long-term vision, strengthen foundational market support, provide mentorship, strategy, and positioning, cushion early turbulence, and build into a new position from which early investors can win and the company can thrive. Early launch stages rarely tell you the full story. Longer term execution does. Yeah, so okay.
So are you trying to like figure out what are you trying to highlight what Beamable is? What are you trying to do right now?
No, I'm just trying to understand. So they addressed kind of the challenge. I don't know. They didn't allude to what the specific challenge was. TGE was at 0.06. Can you show? It looks like they raised 6,200 SOL. Can you show the chart again? What is it at? Oh yeah, right here. You have it. You have it. What 0.08? Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, that's sorry, Top Fumbler. That's
So this was ICO price right here.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'm sorry, dude.
I don't know what to think about that. That to me is
Yeah, dude. I'm sorry, man. That's a rough go at it.
Don't say the price out loud. You know, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, so I don't know. I like what mechanism, like where was this launch?
Yeah.
I'd like to get more information on that.
I mean, look, we had John on the show. We talked a lot about the business. And it was pretty safe, and it was pushed and backed by lots of influential. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everyone showed up to support John and BNB. We had him on our show. We talked a lot about his business, talked a lot about his fundraise. I did ask about funding, and I did ask also about previous funding rounds that he had and kind of like use of capital. But man, it's so tough. I think Meteora or Meteorite Collective definitely was supporting. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know how to feel about this, but I don't like this price action. That's not very fair. And something happened here. I mean, obviously something happened.
Yeah,
here.
I don't really
like, you don't get charts like this for, either you're mispricing your ICO. Like if you click market cap, what is that ICO price and market cap compared to today?
Let's see. Loading. Let's go back to 12-hour. That's 60 mil.
60 mil?
Yeah, I think 60 mil. Because the ICO is about right there. Yeah, that's
what is going on? Wow. I don't know how to feel about that at all. this is the case of like, okay, so here's what you look out for in this scenario. And I alluded to this a little bit on the call. So he had raised previous funding rounds. He probably has investors, right? And then they did this launch, and the ICO price, you don't want to down round. So something in venture capital is you don't want to down round. So if you raise at 30 mil before from venture, you're going to want to be like, oh, our ICO is at 60 mil, right? That your investors are seeing a return on their investment. So they price at 60 mil. They sell, whatever percentage to raise 6,200 ETH. It goes live trading. If there's no one there to buy those tokens, and those tokens are unlocked either through, an airdrop, which I think that was a component of it. There's a large community kind of marketing push. If previous investors have an allocation of their tokens unlocked, they might instantly go to realize that. And that's where you get these types of scenarios. That's the only thing I can think of on this. But it looks like ICM Run from that written article is now stepped in, and they're going to try and salvage this. Now, I will say all of that I just mentioned doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad business, right? It doesn't mean that John doesn't have customers. He said he had revenues in the millions of dollars. So those things can all be true, but the mechanism and the launch here was not well done. And yeah. So anyways, I think that's all I can say on that.
Yeah, I mean, from what I see, I'll share this article real quick, because
I'm not gonna
they
glaze
basically in
for
this
the sake
article.
of glazing. I gotta call it as it is.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. They basically say that, look, the big three, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, kind of provide cloud services for most people. They dominate that arena, and they're basically saying that their decentralized server network is already taking market share from them, and they're basically tokenizing on Solana. So that's what they're saying. I mean, like we said, we talked to the guy, we talked to the founder. He mentioned that they, from a business standpoint, things are solid. So I wouldn't say the chart in any situation, not just with BNB, just generally, charts don't always reflect the health of a business. It only reflects I want to choose my words carefully. I don't want to say the word competency, but it also reflects like the level of know-how on,
Confidence.
like, yeah, like it represents the confidence that the market has in you, more so than it reflects the health of your business. I think that's really an accurate statement.
And here's the contrast. So Ram at Avicii, I heard that he had raised 30 million at he had raised venture at 30 mil. And what he ended up doing was refunding those investors and doing the ICO on METADAO at a $4 million valuation. So think about that. He purposely down raised or down ICO to 4 mil, and then allowed the natural price appreciation to drive the network effect. He already knew he had a great product. I don't know if that story is confirmed, Chill. I don't know if you've heard that as well, but
I've heard that as well.
That's the opposite end of the spectrum that you're seeing now, right? And so that brings, when you create wealth for people talk, right? People onboard, people try your product, people evangelize. And he allowed Ram at Avicii, his token now is worth almost $100 million. Like, I guarantee if he ICO'd at 30 million, he might not be at 100 million today. I think with a large part of his success was down rounding at 4 mil and then letting it just run, which drove all the network effects to the maximum. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a part of why the CT, again, just that's how it became the darling of CT. Like, he decided not to raise as much money. He refunded VCs. And like, when you make like very bold moves like that, it, like, the market puts a lot more confidence in you. And then when you start at that from like a much lower market cap, you give, community the ability to make money. Like, they will come in and I'm gonna just put up the Bitcoin chart, because I don't like looking at that Looking at the
Yeah,
the
let's
beam
get
bull
that
chart
off.
anymore.
Yeah, sorry,
Um,
Top Fumbler, man. Honestly.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that, dude. Um, let's see. Honestly, I think this is a good place. This is a good place to wrap. There's not much going on. I think markets are still kind of waiting on Bitcoin to make a decision here. ETH outperforming a little bit. On the charts, as far as like what I like, I'm looking at like major charts. Like I'm looking at just basically MET. I told you guys under 30 cents. It's a really nice, nice undervalued area for me at least. Fart coin, you guys know I don't really care. Oh my God, it's a meme coin. I can't believe it. But yes, I love fart coin. Still waiting to see like how much it actually let me just do this so this kind of looks a little cleaner here. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I did not prepare my charts for the stream. Yeah, so still waiting on a clean market structure break. Ideally, what I'd like to see is, um, you know, this come down here. I'll probably end up longing right here, go up above, come back down. I'll take profit up here on the long. I'll then re-enter along on this retest and then write it up. Honestly, bro, like, dude, man, freaking fart coin, dude, was like one of the best things, one of the best plays of 2025 for me. Because I got into fart coin at back here, like right when we first started, right before we first started the stream. It was like in at the first pullback here. And I got in at like sub 40 cents. Or no, it was back in March, actually, I believe. Yeah, it was actually back in March. It was like because it was in the lower 30s, the lower 30 cents, but it was like sub 35 cents. Wrote it up cleanly, took some profit, long this, long this, long this. Like it was just amazing, man. But yeah, like ultimately though, looking for something like this to play out um on Fartcoin. Yeah, it's not the cleanest head and shoulders, but I would love to see, like, I guess you can kind of say it's pulled back into that area already on this daily chart. Really? It did that? When did it do that? Oh yeah, yeah. I guess you can say it kind of did, but yeah. So still looking at different different outcomes here for this chart, but ultimately love the way that this is looking on Fartcoin here, and then the other one you guys already know we're bullish on Pump. Top Fumbler, you're funny, bro. You're super funny, dude. Yeah. So same thing here on Pump. It's broken this downtrend. And if you look at it on the 12-hour, it's above the market structure break. So yeah, same MO here. Probably here at the market structure break. I'll set a stop loss, probably below this weekly support. And just target next high, which will probably be around somewhere around like 4 on the daily. That's a little bit more cleaner. Yeah, I think it was 37, somewhere around 37. So yeah, just little scout plays, just little plays here and there, nothing crazy, nothing too wild. But yeah, just a couple things here to take note of.
We
Looks
have
like Viva
yeah.
came out with a nice little article here not too long ago. Yeah, I think this was like really fresh, actually probably going to bookmark that. I've been meaning to do a Viva update, so
let's
look out
watch
for
the
that from me.
video. Let's watch
But
the video.
yeah,
Can you try resharing it for audio?
yeah. But yeah, I'm working on an article here, an update on Viva. So expect that from me later this week. Here's this video though.
flight is over. The mission
Landing on the moon.
Let's freaking go.
The Viva rocket has landed, carrying the blueprint for a self-sustaining digital economy. Everything built so far will now unfold.
That looks so freaking clean. That's Bolivia.
One by one, the modules deploy. Commerce, payments, media, and community begin to take root. Each is powered by Viva and connected through Alva's core system. As the systems connect, the surface comes alive. Every action generates data. Every impression creates revenue. Every transaction fuels the token. This is the first functioning digital economy born from a telecom network, powered by real revenue and sustained by participation.
All systems stable, activating modules.
Mission control confirms system stability, revenue inflow consistent, utility cycle engaged, network synchronization complete. The ecosystem is fully operational. What began as a rocket has become a living network. Then the signal left the moon. Across the galaxy, other worlds responded, each one a network ready for connection. The landing is complete. The system is alive. The signal has been sent. This is Mission Log 3, the beginning of the next era. Viva, powered by Alva, built for the next internet.
Love it. Why don't we go through the tokenomics page pinned on their X account? You can go to their X account, Chill, just to go back in time and kind of just that white paper. Do you mind just opening that real quick? I think that's I don't know if it's they show the phases there.
Yeah. Here is the roadmap. I think I know what you're going after. It is this one.
Yeah. Okay. Can you? I don't know.
I don't know if we can see that. I can try. I'm zoomed in a lot already. It's not going to zoom in anymore, unfortunately. But basically, guys, what it says, just to kind of like cue you in on exactly what's going on. Phase 1 was launching Viva on Solana. Phase 2 was kind of like the Viva wallet, making that a full in-app integration. And phase 3 was kind of where things, kind of go to the next level. So real world integration, reward exemption, ad revenue buybacks, exclusive perks, and full ecosystem activation. And then phase 4 is expansion to new countries, new partnerships, and advanced features. They've been on our show and, they've talked about expanding to, Mexico, to the US and to other countries around the world. Right. So this article, I'm actually going to just look back at it one more time. This article, we are in that phase 3. We are at that point where it's full system, full ecosystem activation. As you can see here, holders are growing, over 11,000, holders, with the majority of them are Bolivians, real people, employees, family of employees and friends. And the rollouts are coming, rollouts have been going on over the past few weeks, which is why, this holder count has been going parabolic. Viva holders, they're able to get 20% APY. That's an insane high yield savings account, right? And they in November, they purchased more than $40,000 worth of Viva on the open market to fuel earned Viva based on user demand and to show the flywheel in motion. All earned Viva for the month was generated by real user activity and funded directly by buybacks from real revenue. We'll continue to buy back whatever is required to support Viva demand inside the app. So basically, the more people that stake, right? The more people that stake, the more buybacks they'll more Viva they'll buy back off the open market to fund the staking rewards, right? And we know that they're a multi-billion-dollar company, so $40,000 is literally nothing for them, right? On top of that, you also have the fact that this is 11,000, over 11,000 holders. you know, let's say 7,000, 8,000 of those are Bolivians, because it was like 4,000 holders before. So obviously a ton of holders have come in, and those are likely Bolivians. So let's say 7 or 8,000 of those are Bolivians. And yeah, I mean, look, they have millions of people that live in Bolivia. This is only the starting point. This number is just a drop in the bucket as far as what Viva's potential adoption.
Here, I'm gonna toggle just to watch the staking video real quick, just so everyone can see the user experience. So this isn't just like some little feature in an app. This is a core feature of their Alva app with 3.1 million users.
For Viva coins in seconds. Invite your friends and earn with them.
Nice ref system.
Earn Viva coins with your invitation code.
Again, those rewards are purchase Viva on the open market.
Your Viva coins generate earnings automatically. Monitor the currency in real time.
Currency price chart on the app. So I think some other things to know here, and in conversation with Nate, like they get tokenomics. It's not like they're kind of like an oblivious Web2 traditional company kind of be like, oh, we're going to launch a token. Yeah, we'll launch at this valuation. Like, no, they understand the network effects here. They understand, keeping supply, constrained, not just diluting supply like we've seen with other kind of corporate based crypto projects. So they're doing it in the right way, I think, like crazy. The other part is during the employee rollout. So we had the 40K that just been bought by the staking program that you just saw on screen. The other part of this is during the employee rollout, our Bolivian teams purchased nearly 70,000 USD of Viva. So far what we've seen is $110,000 of open market buy only sell pressure on the Viva token. And we'll show you the Viva chart in a minute. It has really outperformed versus most things during this drawdown. And we'll show it to you in SOL price. And here you go. Viva employees are learning about the Viva token. And Chill, just stop me when you see, bonus club integration. So this is one of the biggest KPIs for Viva is time on app. So they basically in Bolivia, if you download the Alva app, you get internet connection for free. And so they're essentially giving away data for, in return, time on app. And the average time on app was like 2.5 hours. So it's significant. And on there, you do live streaming, you get your content, you access the internet, you view ads. And that's the business model, is the ad network. And so the ad network is generating $350 million around that in revenue from users. So they almost generate $1 million a day in ad revenue. And so they're using the Viva token as an incentive for people to, open the app again, go check out the vendor marketplace, go access AI functionality. And again, like ChatGPT, you can't buy that with Bolivianos in Bolivia. So you need to have a certain amount of Viva in your wallet, and you can access things like an AI subscription with their integration with Mikai. And like, honestly, think about your subscriptions today. I think half of people in North America have an AI subscription, at least, to either ChatGPT or one of these. So you can see the stickiness. There's demand here that's beyond just, I want to buy this to hold it. What they're doing, and what gets me most excited about this project over a lot of crypto projects, is that people might want to buy it or earn it to spend it or to save it. And so I think that's very significant. Sorry, Chill, I went off. We should probably pull a Viva Soul chart up.
Yeah, I got the Viva chart up here.
Actually, maybe also we'll show this. So these are the onboarding. You can see it's kind of lumpy. They have these spikes. And so then they had a major spike here. And what it seems to me is they're throttling wallet onboarding to kind of like let some people in, test out the infrastructure, make sure the user experience, there's no issues. Because if they just like, boom, open the floodgates, something might fail in the system. And when it comes to money, it has to work. So I think this is notable, clear throttling, clear like opening it up a little bit at a time, and just making sure things are doing well. Shout out to Ave. Shout out to King's Mentality. Sorry, go ahead, Chill.
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, Ave, the Kings, welcome to the stream, bros. From a USD standpoint, Sol looking still in our red box that we've drawn out. But when you price Viva versus Sol, looking actually pretty strong here. Chart looks really good. But yeah, I mean, basically Sol has been in the same spot. Oops, let's not do market cap. I actually clicked the wrong thing. There you go. Sol's pretty much been in the same spot, consolidating here, very tight. We can even like draw out something like let's see, we can even draw out something like this, right? Little tightening zone here. Actually, let's do boom. Yeah, little tightening zone here happening on Viva. So we can even do something like that. And we can just for a second just take away. So little action here happening on Viva. I actually like the way this chart looks right here. So just a matter of time, boys. Just a matter of time before we actually see something, some more price action, some more explosive, I should say, price action happen on Viva. You can't have, onboarding, thousands and potentially tens of thousands over the coming weeks and for that not to do anything to price, right? Especially when they're incentivized to do this because it actually affects their real life in a real way. It's like Viva is kind of like a currency in Bolivia. Something you can use to buy, sell, pay your bills, live your life.
It's a bank. It's a bank, guys.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is also half circulating, so only 2.5 million circulating. What is Avicii at? What is Avicii at today?
Probably
100 mil. 100
yeah.
mil, guys. So Avicii is at 100 mil. And look, I'm not going to compare the two because they're quote unquote neo banks. I think these are different, slightly different narratives. But when you onboard at the level of a national carrier to an entire country, and then you kind of position yourself, hey, now our app is not only a telco, we offer all these services. We kind of are acting like a savings account as well. We're acting like a bank. I just think this narrative, if Avicii could be 100 mil and see, 200K in daily volume, if you start to see those daily kind of spend volumes on Viva around that, I mean, this could reprice and be kind of catch some attention. So this is the one thing is it's like a neobank, but it has the users of like an actual real bank, which is kind of wild.
Yep. So yeah, ultimately setup on Viva still looking phenomenal. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got for today. Anything else you want to cover, Josh? I think it's probably a good place to wrap.
Yeah, I think it is. A new SOAR launch yet being offline? No. So Ave, the SOAR launch was mainly us covering it from yesterday. It will be this week is what we heard. So the Morpheus product is coming this week, as well as their token. When that is, we don't know. It's a little different than the previous SOAR launches where the team just showed up on our stream and then like we brought them on stage and we talked about it and the token was live. Why they have been secret is also to eliminate any potential sniping. So I think there's some sort of mechanism that they're pretty confident in that's going to solve that problem. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to cap it there. I mean, I'm pretty worn out and Yeah, chill. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
let me I guess maybe we can just go through the schedule for the rest of the week and
Yeah, please.
just kind of wrap it there. Let me share my screen. Um, here we go. All right, cool. So we have the schedule.
Top Fumbler, we'll
Right.
wait for you, brother. You just let us know what to talk about.
He said, wait, no. Let's see. Stream schedule. So here we are. So tomorrow we have foundational AI coming on Trader Radio, and then on Friday, Waterminder and our friends there, Chris, he'll be on with Fun Media on Friday at 12:30, and then our friends at Karma, Neobanking Protocol in Meta. Pretty exciting stuff happening. So you wanna follow our Twitter, stay up to date with everything everything MCG related. Put on alerts to know when we go live. Follow our Chinese account. We actually just real quick, I'd also like to welcome our newest addition to the team here on the Chinese MCG account, Up Only Mode. He'll be joining us. So a lot of things happening on the MCG side, a lot of things that we're working on in the background as well. So you guys want to follow, stay up to date. Appreciate Ave, a King's Mentality, Top Fumbler, Pepe, Daddy Duster, and
Okay,
all the homies.
we have a little DD to do here. DFTV, apparently they launched a pump fund token.
No, they didn't. What the heck?
So DTV on pump. Let's this guy linked BullX.
No, that's not it. Celebrating season finale of Meet the Drapers. No, that's Draper TV, brother. That's Draper TV, brother.
Oh, yeah, that's probably Draper TV.
Yeah, nah. That's let me show you guys real quick. Let's just clear the air. DTV is Tim Draper's Creator Capital Markets token. And here is
So Draper TV is one segment on their programming.
To be clear, they are a contributor. Okay, so Top
Yeah.
Fumbler, let me show you the difference real quick. I'll explain it to you. So Draper TV is a token launched by Tim Draper or his network or his show or whatever, but that's what DTV is associated with, Draper TV. And that's his program. Draper TV is a contributor to DFTV. So I guess I guess the tickers are somewhat similar, so I could see how there's like some sort of confusion there, but yeah. And so they are just a contributing show to DFTV. Remember, DFTV is sort of this like this new age TV network that also covers things like that are crypto native as well. But they have contributors to the network, just like any TV network, like ABC, TNT, CNN. There's always something, right? There's always a program running. Essentially, that's what DFTV is building, a TV network where shows will constantly be running. And so they have to have people that contribute to fill some of these time slots. So people like Tim Draper, people like Crypto Wendy O, the Tether co-founder has even had a show on there previously. So yeah, they are streaming on DFTV. If it's not exclusive to DFTV, isn't it bearish? I don't think so, because that's their own thing, right? Like, for example, Crypto Wendy O, her stream is streamed on DFTV, but it's also streamed on YouTube. It's also streamed on Twitter. And if she had her own token associated with her own thing, like, that's just her. But she's a contributor to the network, right? The TV network that is DFTV. So I don't think the I think it's up for the markets to decide like what they want to buy, whether that's DFTV or Draper TV. But like, realize that these are individual contributors with their own social media accounts, their own followings, their own perhaps even tokens, but they bring whatever show that they have, they bring that to
and
the
also like
Defiance Media.
keep in mind, like
I need MCG TV. Let's freaking go. I got you.
keep in mind that DTV is a meme coin. It's a CCM meme coin, whereas DFTV is DRP anchored by a senior debt note to the underlying fundamentals of the actual business. So much different token, much different tokenomics. Again, let the market decide. The market will do what the market does. But I don't think this is bearish DFTV, just because I think it's completely unrelated. Draper Media doing his own thing. I mean, that's his own business. I don't know. But I don't think, if revenue is created at DFTV, or if DFTV raises, like they said, $1 million at a 50 million valuation, does that affect, DTV's price? No, but will affect DFTV's price? Probably. So just keep that in mind. MCG does not have a token.
There you go.
There you
So
go.
glad we were able to clear that up, guys. But awesome show today. Appreciate you guys for joining. Top Fumbler, Ave, A King's Mentality, the homies. You guys know who you are. Daddy Duster, and all the homies. Appreciate you guys joining us today, man. It's been a great show. Got a lot of things planned here for 2026. Again, we said it a few weeks ago. We should be upping the show quality here as time goes on. So, appreciate you guys joining us here and watching daily, but we'll see you guys soon. Check you later. Deuces.
See ya.